First of all, before we start this, shout out to Melon. Uh, love Mr. Fantano. If he decides to block me or whatever on the video, at least, just monetization purposes. I'm just listening for a second.
This is completely unreviewable trash, and here's why. Question: what
Holy shit! Already, right off the rip. Unreviewable trash is crazy. Okay.
is even the purpose of a music review in the
Have I ever linked up with Fantano? I'm supposed to do an interview on his Twitch one day. I have to DM him and figure it out, but yeah.
first place? I can say, at least in terms of my own intent, that when I do a music review, I hope to achieve a couple of things. One, give the viewer pause and cause them to think about why it is they do or don't like the piece of music or art that I'm doing an overview of. Or two, excite people to give the music that I'm talking about a try. Those are the two things I want to do. Problem: neither of those goals are possible in any scenario that involves reviewing this album. Newsflash: since 2022, Kanye has made it his mission to go full-on anti-Semite, spouting insane conspiracy theories, talking about how he loves Hitler, and at some point I think he realized how much he fucked up with all of that, so now he has to own this total dumpster fire he's created and boast about how people think he's anti-Semitic now, because yeah, they do. Even if he does genuinely apologize and change his behavior past this point, his public image is forever altered by all of this. I mean, you platformed a booger-eating white supremacist and have guys like this repping for you on a highway overpass. This is not a can of worms a guy like Kanye is capable of closing, not without help from someone who is willing to tell him no. But he spent this same period of time pushing away anybody who could possibly do that at this point, especially his wife, who he has now replaced with somebody who he just like kind of parades around like she's a naked body with no personality, opinion, or voice. Something that on some level I think he's weirdly proud of.
I agree with that on that. I don't really know who she is, his new wife at least. Not that I'm, supposed to know who she is or entitled to know who she is, but it does seem like she's just someone who just shows her body and really has no sort of personality and drive, or she's just like a soulless, big titty. I'm just calling it like how it is. Yeah, but let's keep going.
As on the very lyrics to this record.
You disagree with the Bianca shit? I mean, everything that I've seen from Bianca has literally just been all body, yaddy, body. With like literally a mute, just not like it's kind of weird, like.
He calls her just a reference, which is maybe one of the grossest and most dehumanizing things Kanye has said about a woman on any of his songs, and it's being directed at his wife. So this trajectory Kanye has been on as of late has left him with an interesting mix of fans. One, hateful psychos that actually agree with some of the stuff that he's been saying, and are actually in my Twitter mentions theorizing that I'm a Jew, and that's the reason I don't really like his recent music. Two, anonymous nihilistic teenagers that don't really think anything he says or does has any greater consequence in the world, and are most likely bored and lonely and will just defend Kanye because watching him unravel is more entertaining than...
I'm not gonna lie, saying the lonely line shows that's a little mad, I done been there. I say like y'all broke, when you call somebody else broke, that's how you hating. As Flip would say, you hating. That's when you call somebody lonely, no lifers, like, okay, like.
And most things, and I guess bring some kind of meaning to their otherwise meaningless lives. And three, cultish weirdos
meaningless
who...
lives? Yeah. Yeah.
Parasocially obsess over him and everything he does, and would basically follow him to the ends of the earth. Keep in mind, these individuals have always been in his fan base to some degree, but prior they were at least mixed in with genuine hip-hop heads. Now, these three types of people, and there is overlap between them in Kanye's fan base, don't want to hear anything critical about him at all, ever. They've openly rejected any good faith effort I've made to make them aware of Kanye's downward spiral into Nazi adjacent rhetoric and now imagery in the promotion of this.
So I will say this too, like, this is my thing too. This is a crazy picture that he posted right here, because this shows right here, like, when it comes to Fantano, I'm speaking on what the internet's gonna say, right? If this is what Fantano truly believes and what he's going to stand by, I respect it 100%. I get it. For me, man, I always separate the music from the artist every single time. Again, I agree that Kanye is definitely doing some psycho shit. I'm just listening to the music, man. Again, when it comes down, I grew up to R. Kelly. I was definitely born to R. Kelly at this point. R. Kelly is the king of R&B. You got something, I respect, I acknowledge, and I also acknowledge what he is and what he's done and how much of a monster he is. But I'm listening to the music. That's just what it is. I'm listening to the music, and that's it. But, I guess separating the artist from, the art, I guess. But when you look at this picture right here that you can't see, this is Kanye with JPEG Mafia. JPEG Mafia being a great, from at least from what I remember, a great favorite of Fantano. Peggy, Danny Brown. So my thing is that I'm gonna say is you got to keep the same energy. Like anybody that's associating with Kanye, you also have to cut off in a sense. That's where it gets real tricky. I'm saying what the internet's gonna say. I'm not gonna say it because at the end of the day, it's none of my business. People gonna do what they want to do. You fuck with who you. When you come to me, you come to me with respect, and you come to me one on one. That's our little individual thing. What you do on your own time is your own time. But right here, Peggy is a great friend and a great respected by Fantano and a couple other reactors or whatever. Keep that same energy. Is all I want. Is all I'm saying. So that means you got to also disjoint yourself from Peggy, and you gotta disjoint yourself from Kanye, from Ty Dolla, from Quavo, from all of the other artists that fucked with. What's that? I'm being real. I'm just being real. That's what people are going to say. Look, the trolls of the internet they relish on shit like this. They're watching microscopic. They literally want to see, like, okay, they're gonna hit everything from the point A to point Z, and they're gonna be like, yo, then don't fuck with Peggy, don't fuck with Danny Brown, don't fuck with any of his producers that fuck with, don't fuck with Future, don't fuck with Cardi. Like if that's how you feel, don't review any of their music anymore. I guarantee you, people will say that. I know how the trolls think, bro. The fact of the matter is that there's so many, if not a lot of artists who aren't bothered to work with Ye after his 2022 Nazi sympathizing rants. There's nothing we can really do about that. Well, there is if you truly believe in what you are preaching and believing in. If you truly stand by what you're standing by, I 100% am with you. Like, more power to you. But if you truly believe that, then don't go half-ass. You go full in. Because if you don't fuck with Kanye, then you can't fuck with no one who's fucking with Kanye either. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that's a lot of big name artists. A lot of shit. It honestly might be the whole catalog, honestly. It gets to a point where you would have to cut off so much that you would cut off your career because you wouldn't be able to review anything else you wouldn't be able to review anything else in rap because every rapper would work with Kanye.
Record. The point is there's no hope of having any level-headed conversation with somebody who is like deep into the Kanye fandom at this point. People who literally think anything and everything he does is great and will write off any bit of dissent as just being biased and unfair to him, as if he's Jesus Christ and can do no wrong. So yeah, there's no convincing them, which I will say is also the case for people who have left the Kanye reservation over the past several years, because there are a fair share of people who are validly pissed off about everything Kanye's been saying and doing recently and feel like it's totally beyond the pale. And even if this record was somehow good, what am I supposed to do? Tell the Jews in my audience, "Aw, come on, man, he didn't mean it."
See, he left it open to basically say it might be good, or I don't know if he listened to it. You guys can tell me, did he listen to the album? But he basically said, like, I mean, even if it was good, I'm not gonna say it's good. Like,
it's not so bad. He's just a little crazy, that's all. Especially since he's not doing anything to gain forgiveness. He is very apparently not sorry for anything he's been saying or doing. And the apologies he has given aren't worth a lick of shit, because he'll think nothing of saying Jesus Christ, Hitler, yay, sponsor that, not too long after. Now, there are some people who will say, Anthony, you're being unfair here. Separate the art from the artist. Come on now. You can't separate this crap from the music because it's in the music. Look at the lyrics.
Crazy bipolar into something. Okay, so he did listen to it, and I'm still the king, still the king, still the. They thought headlines was my kryptonite, still the king, still the. I'm gonna come through and just black out, Keep a few Jews on the staff now. How am I anti-Semitic? I just fucked a Jewish bitch. I just fucked Scooter's bitch. We ran her like Olympics. Hey, that's crazy. To be fair, I love the production of the album. I said that. I said the lyrics was definitely questionable all throughout the album. And that's where Kanye has gotten weaker. I've said that. So
read these words. They have meaning, and they are saying things that are not good or normal. You would have to expect me to separate my brain from my skull if you think I'm just going to ignore it. I think this comment here pretty much sums things up. We don't care as long as the album is good. His personality and what he says doesn't matter to me. I only care about the music. How do you penetrate this level of self-imposed ignorance? This person is not listening to Kanye. He's not listening to anything I or anyone has to say about Kanye. And this comment was posted after the album was released, so he's apparently not even listening to the content of the music that he supposedly cares so much about. So this argument about, I only care about the music, can't possibly be true. Especially since the music too is shit. The song Paid is one of the...
I disagree on that. Basically just depend on what kind of listener you are. Fantano's very intricate in the way he listens to music. He's someone that dissects music to the T. He's different. He's listening to every aspect of the music, which is, I commend him for that. But me personally, when I listen to music, you guys see how I listen to music. When I'm enjoying music, it's more about the feeling and the beat. You guys kind of actually taught me how to listen to that. That's why I listen to fucking Cardi now from time to time, just because I don't even understand. I can tell you right now, I can go to a Cardi song. I cannot literally tell you none of the words he said except Sia, and just be like, yo, that Cardi song was actually kind of fire, just because of the rhythm, the beat, the sounds, the production. Like, I'm listening to all of that, and literally mindlessly not even listening to the lyrics, like going through my head. Like a perfect example for a song like Pierre Bourne, Drunk and Nasty. Half the time I'm just like, see, I don't even know the words. Wanna get drunk and nasty. That's all I know. Wanna get drunk and nasty. Wanna get drunk and I don't even know the words. And so when I come down to it, it's just like, yo, like I that's how I listen to music. Now I'm not saying everybody does that, but I'm just saying that's how I personally listen to music. And so that's why I don't agree right there with Fantano. Because there is people, me, myself, that can just enjoy, rhythm and cadences and sounds and not really pay attention to wordplay. Like half the time I can't even remember any. I don't even know any songs by heart. Shit, come to think about it.
One of the most unintentionally hilarious tracks I think Kanye has ever put out. It's just a crappier version of Fade. Why wouldn't you just listen to Fade? You'd have to be delusional to think anything else, especially with this trash-ass verse from Ye. And Ty Dolla $ign on it is just amazing, saying that he's just here to get paid. At least he's honest. Then Back to Me with that Jay and Silent Bob chorus has to be one of the dumbest things I've heard on any Kanye album ever. I feel like I'm being punked. But naked, beautiful, big titty bitches don't just fly into the sky, At least Freddie Gibbs somehow made it flow, but yeah.
That song to me was like, I've said it. That song to me.
That dude is as good as he is at rapping. He cannot save this track. Then Hood Rat has maybe one of the most excruciatingly bad instrumentals on any Kanye album ever. The mix is a mess, and God, those repetitions of Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat.
I disagree with that. I love that song. I love that. The Hood Rat definitely got a little over repetitive, but how the mind works, you might as well like get over it, and next thing you know, you just. There was a line in there that I did not like when he said "whore." I did not like that, and I made that vocal. But I love the production on that song.
I mean, I guess it kind of drowns out all the other stuff about the track. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a silver lining. But almost none of that matters because there is so little to praise with this record. And if Kanye's delusional fans are not hearing that this record is awful on its face as they just kind of listen to it by themselves, nothing I'm going to say is going to convince them. But if you really want a general assessment of this thing, it sounds like a slightly more finished Donda 2. Somehow Jesus is King had more songs on it that sounded more cohesive, well put together, which is saying something because that was previously Kanye's shortest, messiest, most unhinged and crappy record yet, and somehow this surpassed it. And at least in my mind, has achieved the status of being Kanye's worst album. And given that the sequel tends to be a step down from the original in Kanye's case most of the time, the rest of the Vultures series from this point is not looking good. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you. Bye.
I will agree on a lot of the points that he made, especially like the mixing. You know, I said it from the first couple of tracks. I felt like it was kind of just all over the place. You know, I'm not really good with words, so when sweet talking niggas like Fantano can speak, like it kind of just like, oh yep, exactly what he said. I just couldn't get it out, but just the mixing, it just felt like it wasn't cohesive at all. I agree with all of that. I felt like it was all over the place. We said that as a group, as a channel, we said that, and I also agree that there was a couple of the tracks that were probably, it showcased some of Kanye's worst lyricism. I've said that in my video as well. I still think that last six tracks were fire. It goes to show you though, like how, a lot of people say this one of Kanye's greatest track runs, and somebody had to show them My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. But it goes to show you too. I think the listeners, I think that's one thing I do agree with him. Another thing I agree with him when he was talking about teenagers and then like the cult-like fan base that will just enjoy anything that Kanye's releasing. There is times where I felt in this track, this felt like new age music, right? New age music, especially with Cardi being on the track. Cardi and now Kanye always hanging out together. It just felt very new age. That's why Kanye's doing the simplistic kind of raps, because he showcased that he can rap. If you hear the last track on the album, he rapped crazy on there, and then the track two tracks before that. That's crazy. That I will say that this is probably my least replayed album from Kanye, next to Jesus is King. I've told you guys with that as well. I've been very honest, and I've said that this album, like I said, it feels all over the place. That's why there's probably 4 volumes, and there is. Of course, it's Kanye West. I'm going to love tracks from the album. I just, I agree. Now, he is mad. Now, let's not, the fans did get to him. Once you're saying loneliness, no lifers, can't get bitches, broke as hell. He didn't say those words, but I'm just saying these are what, once you start doing that shit, like you're feeling some type of way. Jesus is King is not good in my opinion. Like it is not good from a Kanye standard. I don't think it's bad. I think it's well produced. I think it's all that. I just don't think it's that. I think Jesus is King is better than this album as a totality project. But I also love rap more than I love that gospel shit. So I'm going to be a little bit more biased towards Vultures 1. I only liked, when I go back to it, I only play about 5 tracks now repetitively from the album. I initially put 9 tracks on my album, from the album on my playlist. But that got cut down to 5 because the other tracks are really kind of just like, I only like some parts of the songs, not rather the songs in totality. But at the same time, I don't agree with Melon on the part where you can't separate the artist from the music in turn. Like I can listen to beats and stuff like that. I do it all the time. I mindlessly just listen to it. Like if I can listen to a motherfucker say hood rat for a whole 3 minutes, or blincy for a whole minute and a half. All right, I've been trained to now just put that shit out through my head and just listen to the beats and shit. That's the aspect of music that I love is production, rhythms, instrumentation. I love all of that. I'm not even into lyrics nowadays no more because no one's even saying shit nowadays. Anyway, I will say though, as a consumer and someone that knows the trolls and has learned the way of the trolls and learned the way of how people like to, be ticky tack with everything. I will say this is that they're gonna be very, very, very on your ass. I'm not good with words, so I'm gonna do the best I can. But they're gonna be on your ass. And this goes for any other reviewer that has a high that wants to play the high road, or you're standing on what you stand on. Stand on business, as Drewski would say. That's all. This is what my message that I'm saying. Stand on business. Understand that if you truly feel about this, like you're saying this, and you can't fuck with an artist like Kanye West and everything that he stands for and everything that he does. Not saying that I do, but I'm just speaking as a person, different perspective. I'm just having a conversation. I'm a little bit older. I'm older, just like Fantano. I'm old. If you're gonna keep that same energy, keep that same energy. That goes for the Mallory Bros. That goes for Sean C. That goes for whoever who didn't upload a reaction. John Denton uploaded it. This goes for all of them boys. Complex Ambition, No Life, all them boys. If you truly believe that Kanye is what he is and says that what he is and all the shit, that shit bothers you and you will never support his music, then you got to also stand by everybody else that supports him, and you can't support them either, because that's where the trolls are going to come in. They're going to literally like, if you don't fuck with Kanye, then you can't fuck with Freddie Gibbs. You can't fuck with Future. You can't fuck with Lil Durk. You can't fuck with. These are all artists that are working with Kanye West. They truly don't give a fuck either. Under your conditions, they truly don't give a fuck either. So you gotta stand by that. And like I said, it's hard to take the high road. It really is hard to take the high road sometimes. Like at the end of the day, the dollar sign is the dollar sign. Yeah, I know they started uploading. The dollar sign is the dollar sign, and you got a job to do. And there's a lot of artists that work with Kanye West. There's literally a lot of artists that work with Kanye West. And so for you to shun them out as well, I think it's highly unlikely. And obviously I don't think it's gonna happen. Really. Let me read some of what some of y'all saying before I keep going. Dude looks like he about to throw for putting out this review. If you hate someone, you would try everything to find mistakes. So I don't really take his opinion serious. Definitely disagree with the D2 similarity. Only like 5 tracks on his own. I never took a review from him seriously ever. I know this is random, but I find it hypocritical how Fantano was criticizing Kanye for liking Hitler, yet Fantano drew inspirations from Hitler's mustache. That's crazy. I think it's fair, low key, and I fuck with the album, but Ty Dolla was carrying the album, and I'm purely hooks and verses. I agree. I've said that. Not really. Jesus King is good in my opinion. They're sending death threats to him. I don't like the death threats. You guys know how I feel about that. I've gotten death threats before. I think every fan base got sections of listeners that don't take criticism well. The bigger artists just have more of them because of their popularity, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's just how I feel, man. It does suck. After so long that you've been in the game, I can understand the frustration from Fantano, and I appreciate and respect his stance on what he feels about his, of where he wants to who he wants to review and what his beliefs are in and not liking a person again. I respect that. Again, I'm still listen to the music. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not out here. I'm not a Kanye stan or whatever. I just like the music. I say it how it is. I'm gonna listen to everything, and which Fantano still did. Fantano still listened to the album. It's not like he didn't listen to the album. So Fantano listened to the album. A lot of people just got mad because he gave a bad review, and they felt like his review was solely based off of his feelings towards Kanye. But he gave a lot of reasonings why he didn't like the music, and also why he didn't like Kanye, and how him not liking Kanye contributed because Kanye's personality was still in the music. Like all of the stuff that he was talking about was still in the music. He gave a lot of points on that, and so he backed what he was saying up. So I agree to disagree on some of the things he said, but I also respect where he's coming from. So Um, who was the artist he gave a bad review to where they leaked his divorce and shit? I'm pretty sure that was Cardi, which is also a flaw too. I feel like that's something that's supposed to be private, and again, it wasn't private. They got to him. Again, the internet is a foul place, bro. Like they gonna get to every nooks and crannies, and they gonna let you have it, man. So if you're gonna take the high road, that's what I'm saying. What's to be expected is now. I'm gonna say the one thing they gonna say: if you don't fuck with Kanye, then you can't fuck with his peers either. And it's a lot of peers. Pairs. Pairs. That's a lot of pairs. It was Ken Carson. Yeah, Ken Carson. Yeah, Opium. And yeah, so just let people enjoy the music. Don't try to force your morals into people, in my opinion, coming from someone who didn't F with the album that much. It's not about fucking with your morals either, man. Like, he's allowed to give his opinion. He's allowed to say what he wants to say and speak on that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that you feel people, whoever the consumer is, you feel some type of way personally attacked because that's something within you. For me, like, you know what I'm about to do right now? I'm about to be like, yeah, so I respect that, and that's cool. And yeah, so now literally it's over now, right? Now I'm going on to the next thing. Whereas you really felt something inside your heart now, and you really feel some type of way, and you're typing away to Fantano. You being a complete stranger typing to Fantano, acting like he's gonna really see it, and you feel some type of way. You see how that goes? Like, you're truly feeling attacked because something inside of you. Like, you shouldn't let someone else's opinion sway you like that. I mean, truly, like, I think that's also a poison of social media nowadays anyway. Like, people are scrolling and then get caught up in a conversation, and they're just so mad about whether it's feminists versus the city boys, whether it's, you know, politics and Trump, or whether it's, you know, like, everybody's just on the internet living their lives on the internet, you know, preaching to a blind wall. Like, it's just it's a cybernetic wall that you can't do anything about. You know, like, trust me, after seeing Brad's Taste review on the album, I can confidently say that it's not about forcing morals when it comes to the album, Kanye. It's the fans being batshit crazy because they can't take criticism. Yeah, I think that's also what it comes down to, too. I think the fans, you guys are literally batshit crazy. There's some batshit ass crazy people that just literally live on the internet and, you know, want to see people. It comes to, like, want to see people fail. And everybody always also asks why I mentioned Gen Z is because I feel like it's just a lot of Gen Z motherfuckers doing that shit, bro. A lot of motherfuckers that's younger than 24, 23 that are just going crazy and doing this shit, like dossing people's houses and getting people's divorces, and like, that's some crazy shit to find shit out like that, and just to send death threats, and all because of an artist that doesn't give a fuck about you. If you died tomorrow, Kanye West would not give two fucks. Put that around you. Like, think about that. Like, you stand and die for Kanye, but he truly don't give a fuck about you when he in Calabasas. You know, like, it's just crazy. So that's how I feel about it. That's a long video though. I didn't expect it to be that long. But yeah, that's how I feel about him. Why is Usher right? We got Usher on the back. Oh.